Hey guys, this is Nick with Med School Mastery, and today I wanted to talk about medical school, how to pay for it, things to consider while you're applying, and all these things that will sort of help you to make sure that you're coming out of this not being too far behind financially, because it is a huge investment. But as a lot of us think, it's highly worth it, but it's important to do it correctly. So that being said, as you're just beginning the process, there are a few sort of early things that you can look at in college that will maybe save you money. Actually, some of these things you can even consider in high school. So, for those of you who might be in high school, you can consider some of these shortened programs where you go directly from undergrad to medical school. It's not always that advisable for a lot of students. Some people feel pretty sure that they want to go into medicine out of high school, but let's be honest. I mean, we're still young in high school, and there's a lot to see. So that might not be the best move for you. But if you are positive about it, you get into it, it will probably save you a lot of money, because some of those programs are only 6 years, and then you don't obviously need to pay all the application costs, and that also means you might not need to pay for any MCAT prep. But if it's a 6 year program in general, that's saving you 2 years of tuition for undergrad or medical school, which is probably $140,000 nowadays, and that will over time end up saving you a lot of money. So that's something to consider early on. If you're in college and you're looking ahead, there are a couple different programs that will pay for your medical school. So one of these would be through the military. There's the HPSP, Health Profession Scholars Program, that will pay for all of your medical school, and in addition, it will give you a bit of a stipend. So it's important to realize, though, that all of these they have their own challenges. So as part of that, you need to repay your time to the whatever branch of the armed forces that you join. So you repay your time, and you often don't really have a choice of where you get to go during that period. So that's something that's a deal breaker for some people. In addition, there's National Health Service Corps, and several sort of similar programs. So if you're interested in primary care, there are several programs there that will either pay for all your medical school, or if you decide to do it later on, you do some service in primary care in an area of need in the United States, and as a result, you get your loans repaid. So that's something to look at. In addition, there are several scholarships nationally and at your medical schools that you should definitely be applying for or considering. So definitely see what your options are from your medical school. And one thing that I didn't know about that you should definitely look into is sort of bargaining with medical schools once you get in. So I had several peers that did this, and to be honest, it sort of made me upset, because they just had gotten into several places like I did, and they emailed my medical school and they said, look, we're kind of in a tough spot because we want to go here, but at the other school they offered me, this scholarship, or it would cost me this amount. And so then the medical school worked out some sort of deal with them where the tuition was cheaper. They got some sort of scholarship. So just by asking, they save themselves several $1,000s a year. So definitely use that to your advantage. It's something I wish that I could have done. So I want to pass it on to you for you to do. So moving on to the scholarships and programs outside of the medical school. So definitely, once you do get into medical school, there are several search engines online where you can look for scholarships for medical students. So those do exist, and they're definitely something I suggest considering, because they can also save you a lot of money. So what else? Finally, then, assuming that you've taken out loans, whether those be from federal resources or elsewhere, you can also consider loan refinance later on. And so this is something that's important to remember, that not everyone does, but if you refinance your loans later on, you can get them at a lower rate, which will end up saving you a lot of money in the long run as well. So consider that later on. But I hope this sort of gives you a decent exposure to the different options for you as you're considering how to pay for medical school. It's a huge investment, so it's important to look at all these avenues seriously. So you can find some information like this on medschoolmastery.com, and on there we also have the Pre-Med BootCamp, we have the Pre-Med Playbook, which people are really enjoying, so I encourage you to go check those out, and I will see you next time on medschoolmastery.com. Thanks.